Patience, patience and acceptance. So, what does it mean to you to have patience? Do you have patience? Do you accept? For myself, what I find about patience is that patience, you need space. So, you need space within your body, space within the situation that might not allow you to have patience. So when you feel as though, okay, I've had it up to here, my patients are gone, how are you feeling in that moment, right? Are you overwhelmed? Is there too much to do? You might notice that you have zero patience with yourself, with anybody, with doing things when you have too much put on your shoulders, too much weight, too much stuff. Maybe on the weekends when things are a little bit freer, or there's a little more time to do things, your patients are a little better. You're able to kind of sit back. You're able to just accept, how your day's going, how your weekend is going. But during the work week, maybe you're very, very busy with work, with your career, maybe it's with your kids. And the acceptance of having this patience is like it's just blocked, right? It's all blocked. So in patience, there is space. There's a lot of space. Personally, I can tell when patients are starting to get thin, when my mind is wandering all over the place and there's essentially too much to do. I'm overwhelming myself with too many things to do. So a perfect example to create some space of what I do. And it's going to work for everybody differently. There's going to be different things that you might already be doing. But for myself, it's just taking just that one deep breath. So I would just go, and I would even just like take one deep breath. And even my family and my kids know, okay, they might say, what's wrong? It's like, nothing's wrong. I'm just creating a little bit of space. And it allows you to put space in between how you're feeling, but also put space in between all of the thoughts that are just flying through your mind that is bothering you, that is not allowing you to kind of settle into a little bit of peace, that is messing with your homeostasis state, that's messing with you. Another great way is just to count in your head. And when you count in your head, it allows us to then as well focus on the breath, take a few deep breaths, but counting. Maybe you just kind of take a second. Okay, this big situation has happened. I don't want to show up screaming and yelling. I want to show up with patience. I want to show up with empathy. I want to show up with kindness, being thoughtful. So I'm going to put some space in between that. I'm going to maybe count to 5. I'm going to count to 10, whatever you need to. That's a great way to create some space. Sometimes when you're needing the space, you need to create physical space. So sometimes you need to walk away, and that's okay. And you might know with your partner or with your friends, the people that need to walk away. So you need to allow them that space. And if you're one that needs to walk away, then you need to allow yourself that space. Try not to feel guilty for taking that space. That space, and I keep saying space, but it's so important, so important. Closed off, everything is just information floating and floating and floating at us all the time. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Come here, come here. Like, especially if you're a mom, you're being pulled and dragged from every angle. So you need to walk away, and that's okay. That's a beautiful thing to do. Try not to storm away. I know when your patients are very thin, you might storm away. Count as you're walking away. Walk away slowly. Notice how that feels for you. Go for a walk. If you leave your kids for a little bit and just go for a tiny little walk just around your house, that's fine. That gives you the space that you need. But it might also, and then when you talk about it after with your kids or with, whoever this is happening with, then it allows them to understand you a little bit more. It allows you to understand yourself a little bit more. Yeah. So patience and finding that acceptance in yourself, we have to accept that we know that we do need that space. So I invite you to take this space. Take a look at the worksheets as well, the worksheets through patients, answer some of the questions. First and foremost, you gotta be aware, gotta be conscious of, do you even have patients? Are your patients always running thin? Just take a look at that. Patience and acceptance.